And it's great to be with you because it seems so much always happens between the U.S. report with James Morrow, which goes to air on a Friday night, and when we all get together again on a Sunday. Like, for example, a press conference with Joe Biden and the Japanese Prime Minister. Or is it President Fumio Kishida?
Distinguished guest, the Prime Minister of Japan.
President.
Thank you.
Okay, so he fluffed that, but he was able to give clear, spontaneous answers during this press conference, right?
We know there are many families out there who still wait and worry and wonder, and we're not going to forget about them or their loved ones. And there's clear language on this, on our joint statement. The bottom line is this, that we share a common position. We're committed to working together to see the return of all prisoners of war and those who have been abducted and detained.
Now, I've seen better performances from Linda Burney reading a sheet of paper in Question Time, which is saying a lot. And there was also this bizarre interaction with a Japanese reporter.
And you have a great imagination. One question ends up being six, but thank you. I'll try to answer all of them. I'm glad I didn't have you as my law professor when I said one question.
By the way, don't ask Joe Biden where he came in law school. He really doesn't like to answer that question. And then there was this odd statement about American foreign policy.
Is America First policy walking away from the rest of the world has made us weaker, not stronger.
Yeah, so much for putting your own country first. The presidential salary, to be sure, is, of course, chump change compared to what's on offer from the tens of millions of dollars that appear to have flowed into the Biden family accounts from dodgy Ukrainians and Chinese. Why would he want to put the U.S. first? Anyway, speaking of Biden family business.
And with regard to the second question, I have no comment on any investigation that's going on. That's up to the Justice Department, and that's all I have to say.
Yes, he was asked about Hunter Biden, the first presidential fail son, and we'll take that from him as a no comment, which is interesting because it seems that Joe didn't used to be so quiet when it came to his family business. On Friday, it was revealed that when he was vice president, Joe Biden had a secret email account under the name Robert L. Peters, which some people said was a bit strikingly similar to another Pete nickname that was apparently used for the president on the Hunter Biden laptop. But that's another story. And James Comer, the head of the congressional committee investigating the Bidens, isn't playing along. He has requested that the National Archives provide unredacted documents and communications from President Biden's time as vice president, no matter what email he was using, including unredacted access to a tranche of emails from Vice President, or then Vice President Biden's records, including messages related to Ukraine and the Ukrainian gas company Burisma, anything that was sent back and forth by him, President Biden, or Hunter Biden. And as more and more questions are being asked, more and more uncomfortable discussions are being had on the left. Even CNN's Jake Tapper now, with all of these revelations, has been forced to admit that there's starting to be a problem here.
Kessler wrote, Hunter Biden reported nearly $2.4 million in income in 2017 and $2.2 million in income in 2018, most of which came from Chinese or Ukrainian interests. But this directly goes against what Joe Biden said in the debate in 2020 with Donald Trump. Take a listen.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China.
Once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
So it's from two different debates, but, I mean, Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China, and Joe Biden was wrong. I don't know that he was lying about it. He might not have been told by Hunter, but this blind spot is a problem.
It's so funny, you know, it used to be that all this Hunter making money from China and Ukraine was a conspiracy theory. But as I'm so fond of saying on this program, conspiracy theories are very often just another word for coming attractions. So this is all pretty big, but you've got to love what happened next from the Democrat on that CNN panel.
Well, I think dads have sometimes, and parents sometimes have blind spots about their kids, for sure, and the president may be no exception.
Dads have blind spots. Isn't that a dad joke? Is it Father's Day already? Anyway, this has a long way to run. The question is, though, for the Democrats, strategically, can they keep the charade going through next November's election?